Hey, bosses. So today we are on day 3 of our resilience reboot. If you want to continue to stay connected, if you want a list of the 12 days of the resilience reboot, I want you to go to shiftsinsuccess.com slash freebie 12, and that's the number 12, as well as so that you can stay connected with me. I'm going to go ahead and jump into day 3. We're talking about strategic time blocking. So this is going to be for my multitaskers, those of you who are multitasking, those of you who are often unproductive because of maybe you have frequent distractions that are happening throughout your day. Maybe you're wanting to be more intentional or more focused in your work. And maybe you just suffer from just being a workaholic, right? Maybe you're just a workaholic and you're not exactly sure how to cut things off and how to really stay focused, but in a healthy way. I want to help you work through that for this year because we don't want those problems in 2024. Okay. So I'm going to share a simple way to get you laser focused where you are making time for the things that are important for you, as well as you're making time for your family and your work obligations. Because let's just face it, we're going to always be pulled in many different directions, and we want to make sure that we're very strategic about how we plan out our day. And so I'm going to talk about strategic time blocking. This is a concept called strategic time blocking. This is a powerful tool to help you take better control of your schedule and your goals throughout the year, throughout the quarter, the month, as well as the day. And it also helps to reduce stress and unnecessary scheduling conflicts that you may face. This method helps you to prioritize your needs as well as the needs of those around you. So, implementing time blocking techniques, it actually increases productivity by about 68%, according to a study that I found online, allowing leaders to focus on critical tasks and burnout. So, some examples of strategic time blocking can include designating specific hours for, let's say, brainstorming. Maybe you're designating time for checking emails, returning phone calls, maybe for networking purposes, for exercising, for maybe just taking frequent breaks throughout your day. I've used strategic blocking for focused work sessions. This is something that's really benefited me for work as well as my business, where I focus directly on it. May be just brainstorming. Just for a couple of hours, I take time to just brainstorm. Maybe I'll take another hour or so for research. And I don't, and typically for me, I try to be very realistic about what that feels like for me, because sometimes I get very bored and I get disengaged if I continue to research for an extended period of time. So I know me, and you know yourself, right? You have to learn what works for you. And so I also try to schedule in many frequent breaks throughout the day. So I talked about this yesterday. We talked about moving your body, right? It was important to me that I took time where I was not glued to my desk. For the longest time, I was working in a role. I was glued to my desk. I was not taking lunches. I was not exercising. I was not practicing any type of mindfulness. And so it affected me in so many different ways. And so I use that as well. Even with strategic blocking, one of the things that I do, I have planned out my entire year in terms of the goals that I want to have met by the end of the year. And so I have strategically blocked off days and times for date nights, for family vacations, for doctor's appointments, for literally everything that I could think of that I needed to add to the calendar that was a priority for me, whether it be work, whether it be family obligations. I put it on the calendar, right? So I could really designate that time. Clarity is key when you're thinking about time blocking. You want to make sure that you understand what you value, what your priorities are. And so the easiest way that I would encourage you to do that is by taking two different lists. You have a personal list, you have a professional list, and you identify what are those 5 must-haves. Hopefully you guys have already taken some time to plan out your year. If you haven't, I will be an available resource. I would love to help or love to work with you if you need help with just planning out what that looks like for you so you can be more focused in your work. If you haven't, it's totally fine. I think we can still take baby steps, right? So take your 5 must-haves under your personal life, under your professional life, those things that are important. And I want you to allocate time for each of the tasks that you know that you need to get done, okay? So in the grand scheme of things, let's say if you visualize your day, you visualize what would an ideal day look like for you? What would a productive day look like, stress-free day look like for you, right? When you visualize that and you think about all those must-haves that need to happen, from your personal list, maybe that list may include, that you want to have 2 to 3 hours of uninterrupted time where you're not on your phone, you're not doing work, and you're 100% engaged with your family, right? That's going to be time that I want you to add to your calendar, right? I want you to add those specific hours to your calendar. If it is personally, that you need to go and take a walk for at least 30 minutes during your lunch break, add it to your calendar. If you know that you need to take frequent breaks throughout the day to stretch, add that to your calendar, right? 10 to 15 minutes, you're going to block it off. If you know that in the morning time, or let's say maybe closer to lunch, or maybe even after lunch, you may find that returning phone calls may be a better time for you to do that. Add that to your calendar, right? So making sure, you want to keep in mind that as you build out this calendar, you're prioritizing what's important from your personal list compared to your professional list, but then you're also making sure that your well-being is added to that calendar as well. I have to add that in there because, again, these are the things that are going to help us to continue to be more resilient and more effective in our roles as leaders. So make sure you take that time, and I want you to test this out today. Just, again, write down a quick list of what those must-haves are for you. You can start out with your top 5, add how much time, whatever that block is going to look like on your calendar. And then I want you to see how productive are you by the end of the day. You can journal about it. You can even send me a note. I would love to hear how productive your day was today, or just try it out, experiment over a period of time and just see what it feels like for you. I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 5 of our resilience